And talent on set. Sound speed. Let's roll cameras. Okay, action Joe.
Hi, I'm Joe McNally, Nikon ambassador. For the next 3 days, we're going to go on an adventure together with the SB-5000, the brand new Nikon Speedlight. It's a radio-controlled flash, and it enlarges our possibilities as flash photographers, our imaginations, where we can put the flash, the range that we can use them at, and you're going to see behind the scenes about everything that we do. I'm going to make mistakes, I'm going to make bad pictures, I'm going to make some good pictures. As I say, it's a classic adventure. We start in the studio, and then we go on location for 2 straight days. A simple location, and then a much more complex location. But for now, we're in the studio. Why don't you come on in? See, we still got to lose that highlight. You can't really see him hardly at all. Fingertip control. 1, 2, 3. Ah! I almost didn't shoot that. Every instinct rebelled. Nice. So we're in the studio today. As you can see, a big cavernous space behind me. I always describe a studio as an empty box you fill with your imagination. And my imagination just got bigger courtesy of the newest addition to the Nikon Speedlight system, which starts with the SB-500 and now goes up to the SB-5000, which is a radio-controlled speedlight. Comparing it to, say, the SB-910, it's a little bit smaller, a little bit more powerful. And also, it does a couple of things amazingly well. It recycles faster, which is huge. It dispenses heat much more efficiently, so you can shoot for longer and push the speedlight a little bit harder than you've been accustomed to. But the enlarging of our possibilities occurs with the fact that this is now radio controlled. This is a major development for those of us who grew up with line-of-sight technology for speedlights. Line of sight is terrific, okay? I've used it for years, but there are limitations, right? Bright sun, if you want to move a speedlight down the block and around a corner. Tomorrow, for instance, we're going to be going into a garage. I'm going to be hiding speedlights, which would be a serious challenge for line of sight. The SB-5000 gets us past that. The beautiful thing about the 5000 is that it's so familiar as well. This flash is completely compatible with old line-of-sight flashes. Your 910s, your SB-700s, your SB-500s, all of those still work in conjunction with the new radio technology as it merges with the older line-of-sight. Mounting it to the hot shoe, same as always. Locking it, very important, same as always. I'm using a D5 right now. So I've got full radio control with the D5 and the D500 cameras of this new speedlight, the SB-5000. But it's also compatible in a line-of-sight mode with a whole range of Nikon DSLRs. For complete compatibility, check your SB-5000 manual. There's lots of accessories in the Nikon system that go into the 10-pin port over here. This is an adapter, and plugging into that adapter is a WRR10. This right here, this small, I don't know, can I call it a doohickey? Is the keys to the kingdom, okay? That enables me to take the 5000 off the hot shoe and control it wirelessly. Now, I can control speedlights all over the room via this, and I can look directly at my subject, up and down. The balance of the camera is easier in my hands because I don't have a mounted speedlight attached to the camera. All sorts of small things that actually end up being big things on location are now possible with this new radio technology. Let's take a look at the flash. Very familiar user interface. Not too many changes there. First option that comes up is TTL. Tried and true. We've been doing this for a long time. That's where the flash and the camera actually have a conversation. Based on what the camera sees, the flash gives you an accurate exposure. Pretty straightforward. Toggle, and you get into auto aperture mode. You set your aperture, and the flash actually transfers the sensitivity reading, how it obtains reflectance, to an onboard sensor on the flash. No longer TTL, no longer part of the camera, and that gives you your flash output. Toggle again to the right. You go into guide number mode, as some folks refer to it, or distance priority manual mode. This is where you set, okay, your aperture, and the distance range is given to you, and the flash manually outputs the proper exposure. Toggle again to the right, and you're in tried and true manual mode. There's been enhancements here, which I am really happy about. The jump from full power, or 1/1, to half power now has third stop increments, so you've got more fine-tuned control. Also, you've got a 9-stop range, so you've widened out your possibilities here in the manual mode. And then, my favorite, if you really want to have fun and you have a lot of patience, okay, repeat mode, stroboscopic. This is where you need a very dark room and a lot of time, but it is an absolutely creative exercise in flash photography, and you can do amazing things in repeating flash mode. Pretty, pretty. Good look, good look. That was a quick look at the flash options for the SB-5000. In the next segment, we're going to actually start to shoot. We're going to start simple here in the studio, and then in the next couple of days, we'll go out on location. And location is where we'll really see the tremendous advantages of radio-controlled speedlight photography. The solution is what we have now as the crown jewel of speedlight photography, radio control. Still got to lose that highlight. You can't really see him hardly at all. Fingertip control. 1, 2, 3. Ah! I almost didn't shoot that. Every instinct rebelled. Nice. In this segment, we're actually going to take the SB-5000 onto the set and start shooting. In the previous segment, we went through the nitty-gritty, the hardcore details that you do need to know before you go out into the field and expect to be successful with a flash. Now we're going to get onto the set, use an SB-5000 to good effect, and start really, really simple. I'm going to start with a flash on the camera. A TTL flash, hot shoot straight to the camera. Couldn't be more simple. And then we're going to enlarge that light source. Good look. We're going to get the flash off the camera. Good look. And we're going to go into this new technology in the SB-5000 where we control the flashes via radio. We're on the set. Carice is my subject. She's an absolutely beautiful subject, and we're just going to have some fun with the camera and the settings. I've got the SB-5000 hot shoot to a D5. TTL, camera, and the flash are about to have a conversation to which I am not privy. Right? It's an internal conversation. It's like they're whispering and I'm someplace else on the set. So they're going to ascertain the exposure for me. The flash is going to output properly in relationship to what the camera is seeing. All right, here we go. That's wonderful. Fantastic. Nice. Perfect. Beautiful. Lovely. Stay with me. Stay with me. Good, 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 good. What I'm also seeing with the camera here and the way it's having the conversation with the flash is that I'm off balancing the frame. In other words, she's over on one side of the frame and there's a lot of white on the other side. And what's happening is the camera's maintaining exposure. It's not being fooled by that big squatch of white, even though she's a relatively smaller part of the frame than you might imagine. Wow, I mean, she's making my job really easy. But I'm not really doing her a good service here because as I look at my LCD, I've got perfect exposures. The camera worked out just fine, okay? But am I really aesthetically producing photographs that are pleasing? Not so much. The treatment is just a little rough around the edges because it is a small light source and I'm literally throwing it at her from the point of view of the camera and the lens. I'm going to go and evolve to a different scenario where I enlarge the light source. This place is a giant fill card. So I'm going to ask Carice to turn 180 degrees and I'm going to go use that fill card to kind of wash her with a much bigger, prettier light. All right, here we go. So, come closer. John, can we bring that floppy in? It's just a black surface right there, okay? Good? So the beautiful thing about the flash technology is now I have this giant fill board behind me. I come over here and I still do like a flash on camera picture, okay? And it's fine. but it's the same situation as before. By simple flipping this way, throwing the light over my head, hit this wall, enlarge it dramatically. Come a tiny bit closer to me. Thank you much. Good look, good look. Beautiful. That's absolutely gorgeous. Good, 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 good. Nice. Relax for just a sec. Okay, I've got an absolutely soft wrapping light. It's really nice. Simple speed light on the camera, enlarged dramatically by bouncing it off a wall. But here's where we're going. As you can see, I'm losing a little detail of her hair against the darker background. This is where complexity might come to the fore, right? What can I do? Well, a good solution is take the light off the camera, introduce a different position, get directional control over the light, and it'll give you an advantage.
We're good.
I'm having a good page.
All right, stop speed.
Okay.
Camera's still speeding.
So obviously we've made a change, right? We've flipped the set. I'm now shooting on white. We've lost the black background. So now I want to get the light and achieve directional control by getting it off the camera. Easy way to do that, traditional way of doing that, I can just pop it off the hot shoe and I can use what's called an SC29 cord. We have it here on a stick. I can hot shoe this flash right here to this receptacle, and then I take this and link it to the camera. So now I have TTL connectivity, right? Camera talking to the flash via this cord. But you can see maybe already some limitations. I'm going to put the light over here, camera left, and again, as I said, achieve a bit of directional control for the light. Here we go. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Good look, good look. Good look, good look. Awesome. Way to go, sweet. And bing, first exposure. It's pretty nice. Light is off camera. I've achieved a measure of directional control, but I haven't really affected the quality so much because it's the same size of light source I had as when the light was hot shoot to the camera. It works, but a couple of things that, I feel like I'm stopping short still. I don't really have a light shaper on this. The amount of maneuverability is limited via the cord. Given the possibilities of the system, this is like, working like this is like, driving a Ferrari to church on Sundays, there's so much more you can do. So what's the solution here? The solution is what we have now. As a Nikon shooter, I've been waiting for years for this. This is like the crown jewel of speedlight photography, radio control. Okay, I can eliminate this cord. Within 100 feet of this camera, I can talk to these lights. Simplicity reigns. I can go ahead and work freely. So let's bring on a radio controlled flash, an SB-5000. We're going to place it to camera right. And you can see here from the WRR10, a green light means I know I'm already talking to that light. It's already paired. Good look. Be mindful of your key. Cool. The quality of light is really nice. So quite obviously this is off-camera flash. A light into an umbrella, off to camera right, gives a beautiful cheek shadow and defines her face. That's nice. I like that. I like that one. That's got good attitude. Okay, here we go again. Okay, perfect, perfect. That's it. That's great. That's great. Maybe shape the jacket to yourself a little bit more. Maybe come in kind of, yeah, there you go. Pretty nice. There you go, there you go, good, nice. So the reason I keep my audible beeps on with my flashes, I can hear that SB-5000 struggling a little bit. It's a small light source into a big light shaper. So it's not going to recycle all that quickly. But with a camera system like D5, I can easily take my ISO higher. The flash is going to work a lot less hard. So I just went to ISO 800. I have no sacrifice really in terms of image quality. It's a terrific sort of world that we're in right now that you can play with your ISO and not defray the quality of the image. Give me eyes, lots of eyes, okay? Pretty, pretty. I was able to control this light via the transmitter that I have on my camera, the WRR10. I have no wires or cords. I have no line of sight worries. On the set here, I'm able to work very unencumbered, very free. Good look. Nice, nicely done, nicely done. Cool? Pretty nice, right? Cool. All right, you're looking great. Oh, I missed that. I missed that. Give me back, give me back, give me back. Don't. So we're at the close of our first day, a controlled studio environment. Tomorrow, we go into the wilds of location work, and that's where the radio speedlights will really shine. Okay, look around, guys. Flash is hanging in there. We're good, we're good. 1, 2, 3. Ah! 1, 2, 3. Ah! Nice. This flash is paired. Still got to lose that highlight. You can't really see him hardly at all. Fingertip control. 1, 2, 3. Ah! I almost didn't shoot that. Every instinct rebelled. Nice. Hi, I'm Joe McNally, Nikon ambassador. In the other segments, we were in a studio. Very kind of sterilized environment, if you will. We had complete control, just a bunch of white walls, and we went over basics. Today, by comparison, this is the Wild West. We're in a really kind of funky, wonderful garage. It's just a collection of stuff, right? And there's nooks and crannies, there's windows, there's inside, outside possibilities. This is the kind of location that's really going to play to the strengths of radio-controlled TTL speedlights, and that's what we're about today, is to show the SB-5000 full-range radio control in a space that is just a marvel. So when you walk into a space like this as a photographer, the very first thing you have to do is a process I call location assessment. See what the strengths are, the weaknesses, where you can put your lights, where you can put your main talent that's going to be in the photograph. What is the story of the photograph? So camera could probably live somewheres maybe in here, thinking 1424-ish. Then we sort of prop the foreground a bit. This can live here, that's fine. It's a nice kind of shape. We're gonna layer some smoke in the background here, a little bit of haze, always fun to do. Maybe, maybe not. We use oxyacetylene torches up front. And then first and foremost, let's clean house. Let's get the space in a plausible, kind of discernible way. Ambient light in a location is your friend or your enemy. In this instance, it's kind of okay. I'm hoping it's going to fade during the course of the day. I'm hoping for a nice cloudy day outside, and the light is going to track this way. It'll give us more control. And the more control you have over the location, the more defined you can make your lighting. Because if you don't achieve a density to the scene that it allows your lights to speak, they get swallowed up in this big pool of available light, and then there's no effect. We move the truck in here, back it into that area. That's good by me, that's good for camera. Okay, so D5 1424, that's my first choice. And radio control, SB-5000s, go from there. Probably the most important thing I'll do all day today, really, is find out where to put the camera, and then all the lighting and the characterization of the photograph flow from that. So, lots of things going through my head right now. You know, height of the camera plays into how much you see in the engine block, which plays into how much you can hide in the engine block. So I'm thinking about that. Thinking about where I can tuck various lights, this and that, you know, placement. As I look through this scene, it's kind of this wonderful but slightly overwhelming scene. So just gonna have to deal with that and figure it out piece by piece. A photograph like this is like putting together a puzzle. One by one, you just kind of snap everything together, and hopefully you have a cohesive whole at the end of the day. I mean, I love the case, and that could be a really nice source of light right back in here. The thing that I'm concerned about is the depth. I gravitated towards this end of the garage, okay? It's got light, it's got a lot of interesting stuff. The hard part as a photographer is to take a scene like this, which is really jumbled and kind of crazy, and parse it down into its most effective elements. Here we go, Evan. You know, you've got this warmth in here. You have to speak with light.
Yeah, so all of our flashes are firing.
So we got a full cut of CTO in this, right? Yeah, I'm thinking if we just reverse it and draw it, you know, downstage towards me, just skate something kind of 3/4 back, just to put a little highlight on it. Right there. I think that's great. There's going to be tons of lights that I'm going to use in here as accents and kind of splashes of light. Maybe try to get them a little bit higher for me. It's going to create visual interest through the various areas of the photograph. There's a lot of stuff in this picture. Foreground, middle ground, background. My subject, you know, is a big, beefy guy. You know, I'm going to have to create a main light for him. Accent lights for the truck, background lights, all that sort of, you know, lighting control that I desperately need to make this scene come alive.
Yeah, it definitely makes more sense.
And now with radio-controlled and SB-5000s, I've got 6 groups of flashes that I can control right at camera. How do we do that? Okay, we have to pair them. The process is simple. First step, okay, choose your channel on the WRR10. We are going to go with channel 15. Next step, okay, hit your menu button. In the shooting menu, you've got to click into flash control. Click over wireless flash options, which are currently off. Make sure you enable radio AWL, which stands for advanced wireless lighting. Now the camera's set to go. Don't have to go back to the camera right now. I go to the flash. Turn your flash on, very important. Hit the menu button. You come up with the remote radio symbol, okay? That enables you to take a look at your groups and your channel and make sure that your channel is matching the WRR10. Select channel 15 in this instance. So far, so good. Continuing, we're going to go to the rotary dial and we're going to go to pairing mode. What you're going to do is match this flash with the WRR10 here. Once you get to pairing, you just click to the right on the rotator selector dial and it comes up with a command that says execute, meaning you're going to execute that pairing operation. So I'm going to hit OK on the flash, but simultaneously I'm going to go to the small gray button on the WRR10 and I'm going to depress them simultaneously. You don't have to hold them, you just got to click them. And it says right on the flash, pairing, and now pairing complete, and bingo, I know I'm good to go. I've got a green light. This flash is paired. Once you're paired, not with the camera, but the WRR10, you're done. It stays paired, okay? But that's just one flash. One of the wonderful things about the SB-5000 system is you now have 6 groups, potential for multiple flashes. So next step, okay, especially facing a complex scene like this, I'm going to be using multiple flashes, multiple groups. Go to your wireless setting button, click through a series of menus, and it comes up to the radio symbol and your groups. Highlight the groups, and then you can place your flashes A, B, C, D, E, and F, okay, as you see fit. The other thing you can do in this menu is name your flashes, 1 through 10, 1 through 4. You can name them foreground, middle ground, background. It all points to more and more control that the photographer has right at the camera. Here we go, Evan. Looking great. Can we flip this to camera left? You know, I'm getting hits off the glasses. Does anybody else think that's cool? We gotta change the mix up a little bit. Your left hand, Evan. All right. The welder glass? Right. Sure. Mm-hmm. Way to go, Evan. We're getting there. We're getting there. Nice job. Nice job. This is where we are. I now have 6 groups operating, all controlled with radio, controlled with the WRR10 right here. It's speaking to now 11 flashes that I have in the field. Foreground, middle ground, background. As I said, we're just generating interest and light and details throughout the photograph. And also, of course, we have our subject lit. I have 2 lights on Evan. That's group A. And then I run through all the way down to group F, which is now currently lighting my background. So there's my logic. My main lights are A, my background lights are in the last group, which is F. So throughout the set, there are lights sprinkled sort of everywhere, and they have different functions, hence they have different shapers. For instance, for Evan up front, we have 2 smallish soft boxes. Some have no shapers at all, just raw light, and I'm looking for power and a blast. Take a whole zone and light it up. So I'm having to really manipulate my lights. Again, the fluid nature of how all this works enables me to do that right from camera. I can tag and move lights all around, and I'm seeing the results immediately on the screen, and I'm controlling all of them through the WRR10. What the radio is enabling me to do is control all these zones, even though I've got lights buried literally everywhere on the set, and the camera's not seeing them. In previous iterations of flash technology, i.e. line of sight, this would have been really tough to do. +1. In terms of customization on the D5, there's function buttons. So I've programmed one of them to give me a one-tap entree into my grid of all my power and my groups. The style of light that they're TTL or whatever it might be, and the compensation I'm programming into them. So I've got, group A at 0, group B at -1.7. I also have group F at manual 1/1. The system does not care, it embraces all of it. The camera gets its arms around all of this. Some lights are manual, some lights are TTL. It all works together. Just to illustrate a point here, I'm going to take group A, right? And I'm going to knock into TTL, and I'm going to take it out. Subject is gone. My background is well lit, everything else is firing. I lost my subject. Because now I can see how my other background lights are encroaching on him and how they're sort of wrapping around him and filling him. Right now, I think we're in pretty good shape. So, go back in, one tap, group A, TTL, +0.7, and he's back. Radio controlled flash, man. It's fun. Here we go, here we go. Way to go, Evan. Nice, good luck, way to go. Perfect. Got to do a couple of adjustments here. Hang in there. Turn your head a little bit this way and chin up just a little bit. Cool, cool, cool. All right, good look, good look, good look. Good, that's nice, that's nice. Fierce, fierce, here we go again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, good look, good look, good look. All right, we're done at camera. Bravo, Evan, way to go, way to go. Done for the day at this wonderful location. In the studio, we were super simple. One light into an umbrella. Couldn't really be more basic than that in lots of ways. Here, we got much more complex. This was a big challenge for the SB-5000, for radio control. I had 6 groups of flashes, a total of 11 flashes in the field, spread through foreground, background, in the middle ground. And we had wonderful talent, put them in an interesting position, so when you can get those elements and put them together and then add good light, you're going to end up the day with a pretty nice photograph. Tomorrow we add not only the complexity of a very intricate, interesting location, but we also add the component of size, distance, space. We're going to be working in a theater that's much bigger than this space. We're going to be coupling the systems together. The older line of sight technology that we're all used to, and this current new technology with the SB-5000s in radio control. We're going to mesh those two styles of triggering the lights together to cover a huge, beautiful space. It's our grand finale. Guys, can we get house lights, please? Whoa. Wow. Beautiful space. Very large space. This is going to be a challenge. still got to lose that highlight. You can't really see him hardly at all. Fingertip control. 1, 2, 3. I almost didn't shoot that. You know, every instinct rebelled. Nice. Hi, I'm Joe McNally, Nikon ambassador. We've gone from the complete control of a studio environment to the nitty-gritty of a very kind of charismatic garage to this beautiful, large theater. And when you want to embrace a location like this, you want to wring everything out of it. I want the viewer of the photograph to feel what I'm feeling right now on stage, which is overawed and truly kind of rapturous about the beautiful detail here. So my mission here is to convey the beauty and grandeur of the space, but my challenge is the sheer size of the space. That's my worry, that's my issue. Right away, the very first thing any photographer has to do, beyond staying calm, okay, is figure out where's the camera, okay? Where's the camera gonna go? Yeah, you can't get the head up and intersect that line. Once you get that solved, only then can you address your lighting and the angle and direction of it. All right, cool. I found the position for the camera, and I chose symmetry, really, the benefits and beauty of symmetry. This theater is absolutely amazing, and it's got these wonderful walls and patterns, so I put the camera right in the middle of the stage. I've got 4 subjects. Frame's going to be wide. We have to see the theater and 4 people. That's the essential conundrum or problem I have to solve. If I just come in too tight on 4 people, I lose the drama and the beauty of the place. So I have to strike that middle ground, and it seemed like right here in the middle of the stage is the best way to go. Hang in there, guys. Camera's D500. The lens is a 16-80 Nikkor E 2.8 to f4. Currently I'm at f8, hoping to give myself depth enough to cover my subjects and also bring out the theater. Charles, could you spread out just a little? Okay, lighting. Wonderful subjects, really big space. I'm going to have to bring into play here a lot of speedlights. I've got a few SB-5000s, brand new, radio control, all those amazing capabilities that have just been introduced. But I'm also going to mesh those with my older SB-910s. And they're going to be incredibly important for me today because I'm covering so much ground. I'm going to be marrying the whole new system of radio-controlled SB-5000s with the older style SB-910s, which are line-of-sight driven. For radio control, I know I'm already set to go because the WRR10 is already paired with the SB-5000s. So I've changed cameras. I'm using a D500 today, but I have no worries because once you pair with the WRR10, you're done, okay? No matter if you use it on a D5 or a D500. The thing I have to do today is take my SB-910 and use it as I always have. Hot shoe it to the camera, and this will become my line-of-sight commander. To light my foreground, I'm going to go with line-of-sight optical. Obviously, my line-of-sight flashes are going to be a little closer to camera position, and I'm going to rely on the radios for the deeper guts of the theater. Because distance is a crucial factor, I'm just going to do a series of tests to see the range on the radio for the remote speedlights. The gentlemen here who worked with us say the flashes that we have in the back of the theater, that's officially 174 feet away.
All right,
Fred?
Joe, you're hot.
All right, here we go. Quick test. Got it. Okay. He's at the furthest possible point he can be from me in this theater, and I've got transmission, so that's like, all right, we're good to go. Now I can creatively place my lights. This was just a raw test for distance.
I just set them up now. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3. 3 seats over up there on the wing. Matching this position. Get no kicks from champagne. And the placement of lights in the background are actually really nice. Camera right wall is not quite as bright. Watch your eyes, John.
Yep.
Callie, is that one firing? I think we're going to have to SC29 it and put it on a stand. Gentlemen, why don't you take a break? Go to the green room for a few minutes, and then when you come back, we're really going to go for it. One of the challenges of the environment, placement of lights. Right. And in some instances, my line-of-sight flashes are actually behind things or behind people. And therefore, a commander flash, the pre-flash that is speaking to those lights, is blocked. So what I did to get around that problem, I linked together 3 SC29 cords, and I took my flash off the hot shoe position, linking with the cords, and I put it on a stand up high over the camera. And that gives me access for the pre-flash to register with all of those remote lights. Good strategy out there in the field when you're using line-of-sight flash.
Bravo,
bravo, fantastic. You would think speedlights might be an unlikely companion on a journey like this because they're a small flash. This is a big space. Contradiction in terms. But, you know, like any hopefully successful picture, you start small, you start with your main lights, and then you build from there. So my main light is a Group A line of sight, 3 flashes into an umbrella. Perfect. I'm filling off the floor, a skip light, that's Group B. Nice. And then I have lights in the seats, that's Group C. All of those are working on an optical trigger. But the new stuff is in the background. SB-5000 controlled by radios. WRR-10 is on my camera. It's paired with a variety of flashes in the background there. So we used Group D, E, and F because obviously my line of sight is A, B, and C. That makes my radio groups D, E, and F. There's a group of D lights along the railing. That's in the second balcony. And then there's E in the middle that's lighting the ceiling, etc. And then on the back off the walls are Group F. And everything's firing at once, and the theater comes alive. You know, and hand and gesture, just dreamy, okay? We have the theater lit. I've got wonderful subjects. I'm gonna ask them to do some singing for us, and we're just gonna have a good time and make some good pictures. 1, 2, 3, and smile. Awesome, awesome. You guys got some catching up to do here because Leon is definitely out in front, you know? Eyes right here. Okay, here we go. Off to the right. Fantastic. Perfect. Let me show you something. Here we go. Available light. Not too much there. Hot shoe the flashes. Get control back. 19 speedlights. Fun. All right, here we go, gentlemen, here we go. And again. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Perfect. Let me hear you whisper that you love me. Nicely done, gentlemen, nicely done. Keep the love like the wind in your eyes so true. Perfect. Excellent. Let me call you sweetheart. Perfect. I'm in love with you. Nicely done, gentlemen. Nicely done. How about a round of applause? Bravo, bravo. Nicely done, gentlemen. Nicely done. I did say this was going to be an adventure, and that turned out to be true. We went from a studio environment and 1 flash to a garage and a bunch of flashes in a gritty environment to a magnificent, huge space where we actually ended up using 19 flashes and meshing older technology with brand new technology, radio with line of sight. As photographers, we're often problem solvers. The locations, the subject matter, all of that sort of stuff kind of sort of are things we have to figure out. And this is the kind of technology that enables us to figure that out in really simple and direct fashion. The frontier is wide open. Possibilities exist that did not exist before. So experiment, have fun, make great pictures. Thanks. We're wrapping, right guys?
Yep.